Hey guys, welcome back to another Cultured Boys discussion. I'm Pepe and I'm joined by Nathan, and this week we're talking more anime. Yay!
Hey.
More specifically, we are talking about the small short series called Let's Go Karaoke.
Yeah.
Five episodes of this. I think me and Nathan heard the premise of it, and we were like, "Oh, okay, cool. That sounds like a laugh. We'll watch that. That sounds like a really interesting concept. We'll watch it, see how it goes." But yeah, that's what we have watched this week. How are you, Nathan?
I'm doing all right, mate. Not too bad. This definitely was a series or mini series.
Yeah,
I
it
guess,
is.
'cause 5 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's literally, like, when you think about it, less than a 2.5 hour runtime of it, really.
Yeah.
Like, when you consider all these 25-minute episodes, like openings, endings, and stuff like that, it's basically a movie when you think about it. When you got condense it down like that a little bit. Yes, we've watched this series, and obviously we're going to be talking about it. I assume you've watched all 5 episodes, Nathan?
Yeah. It'd be weird if I didn't, right?
So, yeah.
Liked it or
hey,
not,
did you find it time? No.
Like, could you
Right,
imagine?
yeah.
I hated it. So I only watched 10 minutes. It's like, it was only 5 episodes. Just fucking watch it.
Yeah, it'd be like you just put up with it. You just do it in the evening. But anyway, before we get any further into it, Nathan, do you want to give a rundown of what Let's Go Karaoke is?
Yes. Let's Go Karaoke or Karaoke Iko. Created by Yama Wayama. Published August 25th, 2019. That is the doujinshi. So it was actually originally self-published. Animated by Doga Kobo. Never heard of that studio, but I love the name. Aired July 24th, 2015 to September 25th, 2025.
Wait.
Wait. I feel like I've done
That
something
can't be
wrong
right.
there. It was probably 2025 to 2025.
I really hope 10 years to produce 5 episodes.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to do that again, or
Yeah,
do you want to,
no, I think I just noted it down wrong. This is why you shouldn't do things late at night.
That didn't question either. I was like, eh? Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
Yakuza Lieutenant Kyoji Narita asks middle school choir singer Satomi to coach him in singing for an annual karaoke competition held by his boss. Thank you, IMDb.
Right. Okay, so I think when you read that line, you think, oh, this sounds like it could be quite a really cool concept of a series. And I'm just going to give the blanket spoiler warning because we're going to be talking about all 5 episodes here. So if you haven't watched it, just be warned of that. But this series turned out to be very, very different to, I think, what either of us thought it might be.
Yeah. Completely.
I don't know what your impressions were, Nathan, but I think when I heard this, I was expecting it to be, don't get me wrong, more of a like slice of life kind of thing, but also quite comical. Like a bit of comedy in there. Maybe a lot more selection of Japanese songs as well. I was hoping to come away from it like, I'd like to hear like some new tracks that I could just add to my playlist or something like that, or like I'd be like, oh, okay, this song sounds quite cool. Like, but it's
it's a head scratcher.
It's a lot more.
Isn't it? Like
it's a lot more serious, and there's a lot of BL vibes that I feel kind of get from it quite a bit. And when you said doujinshi as well, I was like, okay.
It does explain a fair amount, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If it's a doujin. The funny thing is, this mangaka or author creator also actually has another manga called Family Res Iko. So like, let's go to a family restaurant.
Oh.
So
okay.
I think it's basically similar. Like, I didn't look into it, but like, I'm assuming it's basically kind of the same thing, maybe, but like a family restaurant instead. I'll tell you what though, despite everything, I kind of enjoyed it. it was weird
Uh-huh.
in many ways. For example, I had to look up who the voice actors were because I was
Yes.
like, why does Kyoji sound familiar? Turns out it's Daisuke Ono, aka Jotaro Kujo. So that's
Yeah, yeah.
Jotaro the whole
It
time.
was a really, you know, I think it's like in the last episode we had, which was Fire Force. We said, "Oh, Chris Sabat, yeah, Chris
Yeah,
Sabat, he's always in everything." And I
yeah.
think like I just like kind of like finished watching the episode. I was like, and then I went on to into this, and I was like, "Am I getting deja vu here?" Because I know we said Chris Sabat is in everything, but now I'm hearing this voice, and I'm like, that sounds like Jotaro. And then, sure enough, it's like, okay. I'm not saying Daisuke Ono is in everything, but he
Do you know what's really
definitely.
funny is that if it wasn't from just the initial hearing, it's partly when he was like speaking. Sometimes he like did this.
Mm,
He does like this pronunciation, like almost as if he was like a foreigner who's just learned to speak Japanese. Sometimes he
yeah.
speaks Japanese, but like with like a weird intonation, and that's when it also clicked in my brain. I was like, I've heard that before because obviously I watched Durarara recently. Like there was a similar. It wasn't the same voice actor, but it was like a very similar thing. And I realized I always mistake Daisuke Ono and Kiryu's voice actor because they have very similar
Mm,
voices, quite deep.
yes, yeah.
But I was like, that sounds so similar. But it was just funny because like I've rarely ever heard this in Japanese voice acting. This kind of like almost like English Japanese.
Mm.
Like
Is it because of like the character he's playing, really? Because it's a bit more like influential and like maybe like a bit more playful with it.
mm,
Maybe that's the thing with it, and maybe it reflects upon the state of like what Japan deems as like, I don't know, this kind of character now as well, or how this character's played out. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's a little more like
maybe.
a current thing.
I also didn't know choir competitions were a thing in Japan, but I suppose that makes sense.
I mean, it's like the whole what it brings me back to with that is it gives me slight Your Lie in April vibes.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
I can see that.
It's the whole piano competition, the violin, like the classical music thing, in an auditorium with
Mm,
a panel of judges and an audience which isn't a packed auditorium, but they're there to witness it and stuff like that. Um, Kind of gives off those kind of vibes as well. So I mean, yeah, like I said, choir competition didn't really have it down as a thing, but hey, clearly it is. Um, but yeah, it's a lot more serious than I would thought it was
mm,
gonna be. It felt like there's Satomi Oka is kind of dealing with a lot of his own troubles growing up, and well, the whole thing is based around the fact that he's in a choir, but his voice is changing
yeah,
because he's growing older and he doesn't have that. It's a falsetto, isn't it?
I think
He
so.
doesn't have. Yeah, he just doesn't have the pitch, and obviously
Yeah,
because his
he
voice is
can't
getting
like
deeper, his voice.
yeah, he can't hit the higher notes anymore.
Yeah. So, and obviously, this is all falling in line with Kyoji also coming to him and saying, "Hey, I want you to teach me karaoke." So there's a lot again,
Oh
very
god.
much based in singing, but then also like you have this adolescent like teenager who is dealing with his own problems while teaching a yakuza how to sing, which and sometimes like the subject kind of fluctuates a little bit. You're seeing sides of the Yakuza, then you're seeing sides of Satomi's life as well. So
Mm,
you're kind of like seeing different parts of it, and it's a very emotional thing. Um, but I do get what you mean. Like, I can see why you enjoyed it, David. It's a decent it's a rounded story. But I felt like some of it really didn't feel like it was going anywhere in the end. I think there's certain things like I
mm.
don't know what not even that actually. I think there's I got the feeling when I finished it I was like, okay, that's just another anime I've watched and like probably gonna forget about in like a year or two's time. To be
You
fair,
know what
I
it
don't
is?
think.
This is a Yakuza game side quest.
Mhm.
It's like you do it,
Yeah,
right? And this also actually probably would be a side quest because it's just kind of weird and wacky enough. And the
yeah,
Yakuza games like always have karaoke, so like it's literally just weird and wacky enough to be like an actual
yeah.
side quest in the games. But like it's the kind of thing that you're like, huh, that was a weird self-contained story. Okay, moving on.
Yeah,
Like,
it is, isn't it? It's like okay, cool. That's I mean, yeah, I watched the whole thing through, and it was like I didn't really feel like I mean, it's just a solid like that's an okay anime to watch. That I
mm,
don't think I think some people will absolutely love it. And they'll have certain reasons for that as well, whether they relate to the characters a bit more, or like whether they enjoy the story a bit, or whether they just want to just like fans
because like me,
go crazy. And,
they really enjoyed watching Kyoji do that first performance when he's
yeah,
fucking singing that Crimson song, and he's just like, you know,
yeah,
he does like that intro bit, right? He sings a little bit, and then it's like where Satomi's like, oh yeah, in that 45-second intro, I could have left at any point. And then it like
yeah,
cuts, and Kyoji's just like head banging, like proper, like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I love
It
that,
was
like
just a
with
funny scene.
Crimson. With Crimson as well, it is just
Mm,
like like they always follows through. It's like okay, they play the same visuals as well, where it's
mm,
just like those karaoke visuals, which are like it hits the theme right on the head with those kind. If you've ever been to karaoke in Japan, you know, like
yeah.
or karaoke in general, like, I feel like there's a certain vibe with Japanese karaoke which feels like
Well, I love that
very much like a group
he
activity.
was
Yeah.
also his own hype man. You know, like
Yes.
Japanese karaoke. They
Yeah.
give you like like you can clap and cheer, and like they give you like
Yeah. They give you a
the
tambourine
like
sometimes, and
tambourines
there's
and maracas
lights,
and shit.
and
So
yeah,
you can kind of hype him up and join in and whatever. But he was like solely his own hype man as well, because there's like
yeah,
like in the intro, there's parts where he's just like, yeah, yeah, let's
yeah,
go, let's go.
yeah.
You're like, you're
And
the
it
one
makes it like
singing,
so clear.
bro.
Yeah, it's a 42-second like
Yeah.
gap as well. So it's like, oh, okay. In normal karaoke, it is that awkward phase where you have to do something. You can't just stand there
Mm.
for that thing. But anyone that's done karaoke before, it's like that. Um,
I feel like that's where
so like
you just like bop around a bit, like
yeah, yeah. You have to kind of like, if anything, yeah, you have to hype up that crowd. But in this situation, you literally just got Kyoji and Satomi just in this room together, and Satomi just there like, why am I here?
well, the best part is that he like has the inner monologue, and then he just straight up like goes and orders food just because he's like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm gonna be here a while.
yeah. No, I think like it is interesting to see their relationship grow as well.
It is a very strange one
Like
though, because
yeah,
I mean, like, especially when you watch the origins of it, and you're like,
yes,
this is just some random like dude, some
yes.
random. I don't know. Let's be generous and say he's mid to late 20s, maybe. Right.
He's in his 40s, isn't he?
Oh, no, okay. Well, then that's even worse. That's way worse because now just some
Mhm.
random old dude literally is like hanging out with a middle schooler, which I don't know how. Okay, considering his voice is breaking, that's what, like 14,
Mhm.
13, 14,
Yeah,
probably.
he's because it's you kind of like I only put two and two together when it was, I think, in the fourth episode where it rounds it all up and stuff like that. There's a little time skip,
Mm.
and obviously Kyoji goes away for 3 years and doesn't contact Satomi at all.
Goes away,
Goes
quote
away, and
unquote.
like yeah. So and then like I think they say like, oh, Kyoji, you're like 39 now, aren't you, or something like that. And it's
I
like,
don't
and then
remember that line.
obviously
Okay.
I think I feel like it said that anyway, unless I've like completely made that up. Like I heard the thing 39 somewhere. And I think he's around that age, and then obviously Satomi is like, yeah, like you said, he gets out of high school at the end of the
At the
series,
end of
isn't
the
it?
3 years,
So
yeah. So like,
yeah,
and I mean, if it high school, they said
that's gonna be
like,
like
you're
a
starting college as
college.
in uni in the spring. So
Yeah,
like, you're like
that's got to
18
be
ish.
18, 19. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So at
So
that point, that's where.
so during the key parts of the choir thing, that means he is probably like 14, 15.
Yeah, and when you think about all the stuff that goes down in this, so it's roughly a man in his mid to late 30s,
Yeah.
goes to high school choir competition, selectively finds a kid, takes him to karaoke, and again, it's Yakuza, and realistically,
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yakuza
like
are
they're not
technically no.
gonna. No
It's not
one's
like
gonna
it's just oh,
argue.
it's just a random dude who's just come out of nowhere. He is Yakuza, so it's like obviously there's that narrative where Kyoji's different because obviously he cares for him and stuff like that, and it's and like Kyoji is also like, hey, when you see more of the series, Kyoji's a good guy. Like he's like he might be Yakuza, but he's also like he went through some stuff or whatever, and it's all this, and it's like, yeah, okay, you get that story there. You're kind of like making me like,
He's definitely
oh, okay,
Kyoji definitely could fit in one of the Yakuza games. That whole family, whatever their clan name is, whatever that is, that whole group definitely could have been some characters in a Yakuza game.
mm,
Cause like that's such a just strangely wacky situation. Like, oh yes, my boss, as in the head of the clan, just really
mhm.
fucking likes karaoke, and we hold a
Yeah,
karaoke competition, and he uses his perfect pitch, which he just happens to have,
mhm, yeah,
to judge us all, and whoever wins, the boss also happens to have taken up tattooing, because why the
yes.
fuck not? Like,
I tell you what, I think that part of it I quite enjoy as a as a concept because the idea of like, oh, if you lose, if you're the worst singer, you get tattooed by the boss, and he's really getting into it. It's quite a funny concept that, and the whole setup of it I think is quite jokes. I think what I do feel like the series kind of lacks, and I think it's a tougher one when you've only got like really 4 episodes because the fifth episode feels like an OVA in some ways. Like
yeah.
it feels like because it feels like the 4 episodes are basically your main story, and that fifth one is just a bit like, oh, here's a bit more that you get to know extra.
Mm.
Here's some extra bits you get to know. Um, but yeah, it's I feel like it's tougher when it's that short of a series, and obviously when you come down to 4 episodes and you're exploring like the relationship growth between these two characters and obviously making developments for like their character, the story they're going through, you don't have as much time to flesh out anything like side characters in this,
Mm.
or you don't have like, or if you do get side characters, they're kind of there as a plot device, but it's mainly you're still focusing on Kyoji and Satomi in those particular bits. Really, you don't the side characters there just for plot rather than to develop them. And understandable. Again, 4 episodes, 5 episodes. That's all you need, really, like, for that. If you go just literally focus on these
Yeah.
things. But when I came into this series, I was hoping for a bit more like, again, as weird as it sounds, more karaoke. I was hoping for a bit more like,
No, you're not
you know,
wrong
like
though, because again, it's called Let's Go Karaoke. You're like, you'd think they'd sing some more songs instead of like these random little snippets you get just because.
yeah.
I get it though. It's also probably a licensing thing and
Yeah,
all of
I
that.
mean, there's only so much, like, because realistically, yeah, it's like you said, you have to like get the songs for one. I think they got what was it Kenshi Yonezu song in there at one point. I think it
Oh,
was
okay.
I think it was Lemon. I think it was that Kenshi Yonezu song? I think so. Anyway,
Mm.
it's one that I haven't listened to as much, but they do mention him as well. They mention him. Obviously, X Japan gets a mention. You get
Mm.
there's a whole other bunch of artists as well, which are probably mentioned, which I don't know, so it goes over my head. But those two are the songs the two artists that I actually recognize. And I think you get snippets of those songs.
Yeah.
But like you said, like, it's a licensing thing. You can't and you can't do royalty free stuff either, unless you just make up all the songs. And in which case, it feels a little bit less grounded in reality for it, which is also fair. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it also just
I'm
kind of
not-
detracts from everything. Like if they're singing something and then the music is completely different, you're like, that just doesn't feel right, does it? Like it just breaks the
Yeah.
immersion.
I could, there's certain things which I don't exactly think that I enjoyed as much, but I can also understand why those decisions were made. You know what I mean? Like and this is what leads me to think that this overall as a series isn't a bad series. I think for me it's just fine, and like
Yeah.
you said, side quest. That's the thing. Cool, move on. I've had that. I watched that for just over the space of 2 days or whatever, and it's like, yeah, okay, so
I watched it all last night. It literally like
yeah.
if you got some time to kill, it's like sure, put it on. It's fairly easy watch. It's not even it's literally I don't know who it could offend because it really doesn't
No,
do anything.
it's not offensive. No,
Like, you know
I
what I
think
mean?
that's why it also feels a bit
Like-
fine because
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. It literally is, isn't it? Like when you really think about it, it's like yeah, it's fine. Fine, just fine. Like-
yeah, and this is one thing as well. Like I was looking at letterbox reviews for it as well because I was like, oh, it's pretty much a short film. I'll input on my letterbox and that. And then like you look at the overall reviews of it, and it's a 3.7 overall, which like is like almost
Well,
equivalent
what
of,
like out of 5?
Yeah, out of 5, yeah. And its
yeah, not
majority
bad.
got like most people rated it 5 stars, which is quite interesting. I don't know if I'll give it 5
Okay,
stars.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a 3.7 to a 4. I'm like, yeah, I can kind of agree to that.
most comments on it are about the age gap between them, and I
Yeah,
think that this is the
it
one
is a
thing that
very-
is like, yeah,
I mean, like the thing is, it's just weird when you think about it. Like
yes,
in the series, it's actually plays very little part. It's super
Yeah.
innocent. Actually, like
it's not actually like it kind of alludes to it, but it's never said like, oh, this is like, it's never like, oh, this guy. It's never even inclined really that like
No.
they're
And-
hitting each other.
And honestly, they're actually very respectful of the fact that they've got a kid around because like Kyoji looks after him pretty well actually, considering.
yeah,
And then like even in that group session later where more of the guys turn up because they're like, "What? You're being taught? I want to be taught." And then like
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
that other guy who looks like he's like big yakuza man or scary, and then he's like, "Satomi, orange juice, okay? Here's your orange
Yeah.
juice." You know what I mean? Like they're like most of them are pretty good
Irrespective.
about like there is
Yeah.
there's a kid around, right? And he's here to help us out. So let's not be dicks about it. Like let's try and be better about it. Like
yeah.
obviously
not
some of the
egregious.
characters
Yeah.
obviously some of the characters don't, and they go into the very typical, again, if you play the Yakuza games, you know the type of character, the ones that speak and roll their R's and like have the kind of like screech voice because they're just like, "You fucking what, you punk, I'll fuck you up,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god."
Like,
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you've heard that type of character, you know exactly what most of the background cast are like because it's
yeah.
just that really. But like, yeah, it's just when you think too much about it that you're like,
I
it's
think
very
that's one thing.
strange.
Like the series, the whole thing, right? The whole thing, what this series does, it knows what it's doing. It knows what its audience is. People that are going to enjoy this know what they're looking for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this series doesn't deliver into like, hey, this is gonna be a thing, and you're gonna see these two in a relationship. It doesn't deliver that at all. It's literally like a relationship like between Kyoji and Satomi. And if you go on surface level and just watch it, it's like, these are just like two two guys that are just getting to know each other. But then if you look into other bits, it's like, oh, like that's the whole thing with it, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I going back to like how we wish there was more actual like music.
Yes.
I'm so curious, and I still am because you never find out what was on that list. You reckon? You know what I mean? Like, because he makes a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They don't even say anything. So, and you're like, but what was on the list? Because I'm kind of interested.
Because they rattle off a few songs in, I think it's episode 1, episode 2. They go through like a couple of them, and then it's like oh, I can't sing this one because it's the boss's favorite.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
If like I ruin it, like so, it goes like, this one is blah blah blah. So they like maybe 1 or 2 songs get mentioned, but then like apparently he writes him a list. But
I
then
think those are random songs. I think after he writes the list, I don't
Yeah.
actually think you ever know what's on it.
yeah, I think it's because it's always comes back to the fact that he always sings Crimson anyway. I think that's the one, and that's what also delivers in episode
Fair.
4, when, like, again, spoiler alert, you think that Kyoji's dead, but and he's like,
That
oh,
was a-
and then Satomi shows up and he's like,
That I felt bad for Satomi that for all of that. I was like,
I'll tell you what,
dick move.
there
man.
was like doubt. There was like doubts in my mind. I was like, this feels like I don't like if I think if it went through, if they actually did kill him off, I was thinking this doesn't feel like you've put a lot into this, like this death. And then turns out he's alive anyway, so I was like, okay, yeah,
See,
that's why it
but,
doesn't
like,
feel like it's like too.
I felt like it could have been though, just as a random like because you know when you know it's only like X amount of episodes, right? And because Satomi's been like having nightmares and shit this whole time, and I was like, oh, this is it, isn't it? This is the moment, the twist that it's like, oh shit, all the trauma actually will come to fruition and stuff, and like
The only times I really felt like that he could actually be dead is because it goes on throughout roughly that whole of that 4th episode as well, and you get flashbacks of their conversations and stuff like that. And the only times I was thinking, I was like, look, he could actually generally be dead, and that's fine. It's just like the only reason why I found it believable that he could be dead is like, oh, this series just hasn't really lived up to my expectations of what, like, as morbid as it sounds, as like how a heartbreaking death is delivered and how it actually makes characters feel. Because when you look at something like Your Lie in April, for example, I'm going to use this as an example because there's some kind of it's music mainly that like they convey the feelings of like this person passing away. In that, for example, where Kosei Arima's like playing live, and meanwhile is like the dead girl, dead violin girl, when she's passing away. I remember Kosei Arima. I can't remember her name for some reason.
I can't right now either, and it's bad because we've watched the anime and we fucking went to the musical as well.
Kaori, that was it.
That's so crazy. You just have that on hand.
I tell you what, like, for those that don't know, basically I just picked up the Your Lie in April musical program that I had sitting around on my desk, which I think when we recorded the Your Lie in April episode of the musical.
Yeah, but that was
that's been
ages
sat on my
ago.
desk since. It's been like well over like a year and a half.
That's why it's so
Almost-
crazy that you just fucking picked it up out of nowhere. Like, oh yeah, one sec.
Also shows how often I clean my desk as well. But
I don't know. You could have just played it off that you really, really enjoyed, and that's why it's there. You could have just played it off, but you know what else?
But when Kaori dies in Your Lie in April, and when Kosei is playing the piano thing, the message that is conveyed through that, and the emotion that's conveyed in that episode is so well done, which is why I felt like when I was watching this, where it's like Satomi's like he's doing his he's doing the song, he's singing Crimson on behalf of Kyoji, then it didn't like there were parts of it which felt like, oh okay, yeah, he's honoring him, but then yeah, Gojo just comes out anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look it. And they never like explicitly say he's dead the whole time. They just say, oh, he's gone to hell. Like,
Yeah.
and they like imply like, oh yeah, this is what happens like if you die or something like that. But they never outwardly say it either, which is also one of those things that I was like,
Fair.
So
For me, I just thought that, like, because kind of, like you said before, like, a lot of stuff doesn't really happen, as in, because it's so slice of life, it just doesn't feel like much happens. That's what I thought, oh, maybe something actually happens and this story changes it completely, you know? Like, but it didn't, so...
And it's also the thing where, like, obviously, Satomi is all in on seeing that karaoke performance rather than going to choir in the championship. So it's also like, oh, okay, look, this is him doing this to honor his friend and whatever. Instead, like going to the bar in the fucking karaoke bar,
like
with some yakuza instead.
Yeah, in a seedy part of town that he was warned by a yakuza, do not come here by yourself.
Yeah. So it's one of those ones where it's like, okay, cool, the emotion's there, but I don't think it hit as well as something as like You're in April. But that's such a high standard to have though, so maybe it's just me. Maybe it is like
but it's like I wouldn't even it's not even a comparison. I don't even know what I would compare this to, because like this is such a strange one for me. I don't think I've watched much anime that is anywhere near this. That's got a premise that you're kind of like, huh, okay, weird. And then it's also just kind of also like, it's fine. Nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's certain themes of it which is stuff that like I am new to be fair. And I think it would be the same with you as well. Like there's certain like you can try and compare it to something, but it's a newer concept for us anyway. We don't usually watch stuff like this anyway. We only kind of watch this on the premise that we thought it would be a bit more about the karaoke really, and hearing the concept of it did sound quite fun. And I mean, it's just an anime that I think we both had different expectations for. Go on.
I think the closest I can get to a comparison is do you remember we watched that series Solo Camping for Two?
See, yes, this is the thing that I could have compared it to, but I think Solo Camping for Two focuses a lot more on the camping aspect. Bear in mind, I only watched one episode. I didn't watch the second one.
It heavily. Trust me, I watched it all, and it was basically all about camping, which
but like
should be because it's called Solo Camping for Two.
Because I think that's the thing I'd love to compare it to. I think that's what I would have liked more from this. It's the thing is based solely in the hobby. The whole premise focuses solely around this hobby thing, and don't get me wrong, I think it plays on more of emotional side to it rather than the hobby. It kind of finds that balance, but sometimes I feel like I could have done more of the. I just wanted more karaoke. I think it all just comes down to the thing that I just wanted more karaoke.
It's funny because like it reminds me of weirdly, it reminds me of back when I was in uni. I wanted to do something for a final project, and I remember I gave my whole concept, and then my course tutor had said to me, "Don't do that, because when you present certain things, people will expect to see certain elements, and when you don't, then they're just not going to enjoy it. It's going to be disappointing." And I feel like this is that, because it's called Let's Go Karaoke, and there's not just like barely any.
Yeah. I think that's it, isn't it? I just knew that like the word "Let's Go Karaoke" is gonna be like it's just exactly as you said, really. I don't know if there's much else I can say. I think
I like the intro song.
But the interest, I can't even remember it, to be honest. Like
I think I liked it because it was like, I don't know what I was expecting as an intro song for something like this. I still don't know what I would have, But I was like, oh, that's like unexpected.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can. Like, there's a lot of things which I think I even watched the intro song every single time as well.
Same, I did.
Um, but I just cannot remember it for the life of me.
It was
That's how much it left an impression, unfortunately.
it was
But,
like a nice.
there may have been like
pop
a couple
song.
episodes that didn't have it though, right? Because there might have been like a couple where it was like, I don't know, maybe they did.
No, I think
I
they
was
did.
thinking like maybe like for the final one they didn't show it because you
Also,
know, like,
like-
sometimes when it's a final episode they don't do it. It's like,
Also, like, if you're spending money to get an intro song and you've only got 5 episodes, you better fucking use it in every single one. Get your money's worth, right?
yeah, you damn well hope so. That's very true. Yeah, yeah, I do enjoy the shorter runtime. I think although I didn't like think this is a perfect anime at all, I did think that having a shorter runtime for an anime is actually quite cool as well.
Mm.
Just having like a short right, like a mini series. I kind of like that, to be fair. Just like, oh, okay, like if you, yeah,
I think it's a sign of our age, mate. I'm not to get on too much of a tangent, but like just in general in life, I'm getting to that point where I'm like, shorter experiences, not too bad actually. Like I can jump in
yeah.
and then jump out, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
It's just kind of done, and I'm like, cool. I did a thing, but I also got time to do other things.
Like when you look at like our channel as a whole, so we watch so many animes and a lot of them are very series based, whether it's 12 or 24 episodes. And sometimes when you're watching it, you feel like, oh, okay, maybe I haven't watched all the episodes before we do a record or something like that, for example. Or it's like, oh, okay, like I want to take my time with an anime. But this one, it kind of felt, I was glad that it was a shorter one because it felt like, oh, you could just do this in an evening. Like it's like I said, watching a movie, for example. Like you put it on and then you're like, oh, okay, cool. It's well and done. If I want to go rewatch it at some point, I could, and I don't feel like there's a pressure of like finishing it because realistically, like watching a 12 episode anime is gonna be roughly 6 hours of your time anyway.
Yeah, that's at least a few days of watching.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and then when you look at a 24 episode one, it's like crap. That's gonna be like
That's
at least a week of doing nothing
Yeah.
but evenings. Yeah. So like when you look at something like a shorter series, it's like, oh, okay, I felt quite good. I feel quite accomplished that I was able to do something
Yeah.
like that, and then I have time to do other things, whether it be like housework or like another hobby or anything like that. So yeah, I'd like to see, if anything that's come from it, I'd actually like to see more shorter series, more original kind of stories as well come through. I know obviously this is a like a manga beforehand and stuff or whatever, but yeah, I'd like to see
I'm
more
sure there's
things
more out there we could probably find. Also,
Yeah.
it does also need to be said though, whilst it's great, it's a short series. This really needed to be a short series. If there was even one more episode, I'd be like, I
Yeah.
don't care now. I'm done.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like,
I
legit.
think if this was stretched into 12 episodes, I'd have a lot more complaints about it. That's for
Mate,
sure.
12 episodes.
But
I
that's
don't even know how we got to 5. Really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like-
even in the fifth episode isn't necessarily essential to the plot. It's only if you wanted to know a few extra things, really. Like it's just it's like backstory of that basically for that one. So it's like, yeah.
Spoilers for people who don't know, but I mean, like, episode 5 is just basically Kyoji being Ichiban from fucking Like a Dragon, like Yakuza 7. Like, that's the start of Yakuza 7, literally. Oh, I'm part of the Yakuza. I went in, I got arrested, I went into jail for a bit, and then I came back, and nobody was there to pick me up. And I have to just figure out. It's literally just the start of Yakuza 7.
Yeah, it is all that kind of stuff. All like it fills in a gap basically, and that's all it is there. And yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's not necessary, but it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It adds that extra context. I'm not gonna hate on it. But yeah, I don't know. Is there much else you want to say about this, Nathan? Is there anything that you feel like we've missed out at all on that?
No, sorry.
I can't really think of much. I think that's one thing when you have such a short series as well. And we listed off a lot of like how we felt about it, but overall, it is just it's just a fine series. Like if you're looking for that kind of like story, like an emotional kind of story, which I think you could find something that probably is better with it. But I'm also like, it's an easy watch. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
You might enjoy it. It's that kind of thing. That's all I can really say.
I mean,
about
if you're
it. It's
bored and you got about an hour to kill,
not, yeah, It's-
you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like,
absolutely. Just like
it's literally like you got about an hour. Or
you could
so, like-
literally, if you wanted to, like if you had like you wanted to watch a week, like put half an hour on before you go to bed, just watch an episode a night, 5 nights, and then it's like, yeah, that's it's a cool little thing to watch.
Oh,
There you go. There's a
Papa, that's
schedule
the-
you're watching before.
You just made a new franchise, mate. 5 nights at karaoke. Oh my god.
5 nights at karaoke. is a possibility? Could go on. No,
Fucking
but
hell.
yeah, that I think that's
I hate
all we can
myself.
really say from it. Yeah. I think. Oh man, yeah,
say-
that's a mad crossover.
I literally
Imagine
only
the
say
crossover
stupid
too,
shit
man.
like this on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, do you? Yeah. Xena demons coming out. That's what that is.
It's fucking you. It's your influence, you
Yeah,
bastard.
it is my influence. Right. Okay then. Well, if you have watched Let's Go Karaoke, actually, there is one other thing that I wanted to mention as well. This isn't just a anime series. There is also a live action.
Oh yeah, I did see that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I only found that out when again I was like searching on Letterboxd for it. Yeah, it's a live action thing. It's a movie as well. So I mean,
What
it's
a
not.
movie.
Yeah, the runtime is 108 minutes. I mean, it probably actually keeps the same. Like when you cut out all those openings and like ending
Yeah.
songs, it probably actually is like one of the true anime live action adaptations. Actually, is true to the runtime, possibly.
Well, I mean, what
you
else can
think
you
of
do? You can't add
Yeah.
extra filler and shit.
You
Like,
can't- no. I mean, like, but it also, I think it's like with those kind of things, they usually take away a lot, don't they?
well,
But
I
this
mean-
actually probably is.
Oh, unless you want somebody's like fucking release it as a literal short film, yeah, sure, cut all you want.
It's also came out in 2023. So that is actually earlier than the anime. But yeah, there's that as well. So you can experience
Pepe's review
whichever.
of the live action coming soon, maybe. I don't know.
No,
Probably
I'm
not.
Definitely not watching that. No,
I knew you
would. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, if you have watched Let's Go Karaoke, whether it be, well, however you've ingested the series, whether it's a manga, whether it's the anime, whether it's a live action, let us know in the comments. Love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with us? Do you not? Please do let us know. And right, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button for future Cultured Boys videos. Click the links in our description. We have our podcast platforms down there. And we will see you guys next time for another episode of Cultured Boys. Bye-bye.
Bye.